YouTube, Twitter, Fencer Princess, SoundCloud, SoundClick. It's another excerpt of the NFL. Oh, goodness. The NFL is fixed, and we're going to talk about President Trump and Colin Kaepernick. Let's get into it.
There was an article today, it's reported, that NFL owners don't want to pick them up because they don't want to get a nasty tweet from Donald Trump. Do you believe that?
Do I believe that, Donald Trump? No. I don't believe you have anything to do with what is what's going on with Colin Kaepernick. I don't think anybody gives a damn about your tweets, and I don't think that the NFL is afraid of your tweets. But I could be wrong. I could be wrong because let's talk about it. America is a very racist place. It's always have been racist. And when we look at what Colin Kaepernick is and has done, Colin Kaepernick has put racism and the fact that black men, women, and children are being slaughtered on a daily basis. It just happened again by the police, and the police have no accountability. Matter of fact, it's happened so much that it's a regular thing. It's ordinary to hear that a black child or man or woman has been slaughtered by a cop and the cop goes on vacation. That's a normal thing now. So Colin Kaepernick just had it, being that his family's mixed. He's part white, part black. And he's like, this is an injustice, and I'm not going to stand when the national anthem is being played, because the national anthem in the second stanza, it talks about how no free slave will go unpunished, and this was because of the war that was going on back then, and the slaves that were free did not want to fight for the so-called American people at that time because they wanted to keep them in slavery. So Francis Scott Key pretty much put into the song that they were going to be killed. So what did the slaves do? They went and fought for the British. Okay? That's what happened. That's what's in the song. That's why Colin Kaepernick protested openly, quietly, minding his business, just decided, I'm going to take a knee. Furthermore, people didn't start standing up and putting their hand over their heart until 2005 when the military paid the NFL to some $5 to $10 million so they can have more of a military presence. And when more of a military presence was there, people thought it was disrespectful to not stand up and put your hand over your heart, or they thought that it was disrespectful to just not stand when the flag when the national anthem was being played, when that's nowhere near the truth, because before 2005, people did it all the time. They sat down, and white people, black people, it didn't matter. Nobody thought nothing of it. Now it's stand or be ridiculed. Furthermore, Colin Kaepernick is doing so much because he believes in what he was talking about. So what Colin Kaepernick actually decided to do was go to Somalia and give help to the people in Somalia. And if you don't know how dangerous Somalia is, they do not have a president. They do not have a democracy. They don't have a oligarchy. They don't have any type of government. They have people who are committing mass genocide. I'm not sure if it still happens. There has been movies about this and how Mogadishu, if you haven't seen Black Hawk Down, that's what that was all about. When American soldiers went over there and tried to police over there, and boom, they all got killed. Tom Hanks' movie when he was on a ship and the ship got robbed. Those people were also from Somalia. So you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that that's all correct. So there's been mass genocide. That's why America wanted to go over there and do something about it, because those people are starving, and pretty much the people who are in power are either drug lords or just the people who has the most guns, and so you have people dying. There's no rule. There's just total anarchy over there, and that's what's been governing over there. And I could be wrong; things could have changed by then, but nonetheless, so Colin Kaepernick decided that he was going to go do something about that, and he has. He also pledged $1 million. So he has given $1 million to his cause, and there's like, who else is doing this? Who else is putting their money where their mouth is? So no team has picked up Colin Kaepernick. Okay, well, let's study that. Let's think about that. Uh, for one, we know that Colin Kaepernick, uh, as far as where he was in the game and where he's at now, he's not as strong as he used to be. He was using, I don't know if they were PEDs, but nonetheless, he was using some type of enhancement, which all players do. He stopped using those enhancements. He had muscle loss, so on and so forth. Nonetheless, Colin Kaepernick is still better than what are there, 70, 75 quarterbacks who are in the game. He's still better than probably a third or fourth or pretty much half of them. He still has the skill. He probably isn't as strong. And for those of you who don't know, Colin Kaepernick is at one time was one of the strongest people in the game. He was able to take 110 pound and just curl it like it nothing, like with one hand. And I always say this: you guys go to the gym and try that, because it's very hard. Nonetheless, so there's some background on Colin Kaepernick, and no, nobody has picked him up yet, but that doesn't mean that they're not going to pick him up. But even if the owners are afraid of the backlash of picking up Colin Kaepernick. For one, Colin Kaepernick said, "Look, I'm gonna stand. Whatever team that I'm on, I'm gonna stand." I mean, Colin Kaepernick knows that you can't keep bucking the system. You can't. I mean, you have to play their game. You sign on that dotted line. You want those millions of dollars. You have to play their game. He realizes that. He realizes that. Donald Trump has also said, making a ridiculous statement, that he's like, there's a quarterback from San Francisco. Nobody's heard of him. It's like, how can nobody has heard of him, but he had the number one selling jersey in the whole nation last year. I mean, his jersey sold out. So there were people who were supporting Colin Kaepernick, even those who don't even watch football, but they heard about what he did. They went and bought his jersey. And trust me, those are not all black people who went and done that. Those are all shaped, colored kinds of creeds, who races and creeds who's done that, because they already know that there has been mass murder by the cops, and there's nothing being done by it. And this is how they wanted to show their support. Quietly, but nonetheless, give their money to somebody who is protesting. And that's exactly what they did. So I don't understand why Donald Trump opened his mouth and says nobody's heard of him. Okay? And why Donald Trump even mentioned him anyway. Like, what is the point of even mentioning him, Donald Trump? So I'm just so sick and tired of people coming at Colin Kaepernick, because he actually took $1 million and did his thing. And right now, the man is in freaking Somalia, and it's crazy over there. Like, he's risking his life to do exactly what he said he was going to do. And these people are still coming at him. But nonetheless, which one of these owners are going to Somalia and given to Somalia? Who else is doing that? No, nobody else is doing it. So I tell you, people, man, the NFL is so rigged, and it's so fixed, and it's just fixed on money. There's nothing personable about the game anymore. It just sickens me, because the NFL can be a real tool to actually do more good in this world, being that everybody watches it. You know what I'm saying? Being that they have such a far and wide audience that stretches to other countries, and people tune in just to see that stupid game, they could be a vehicle for a lot more good. But being that they're controlled by a bunch of capitalists who could care less, about anybody except money. This is what they do. Now, this is some of what else what Donald Trump and his stupidity has said, and I'm gonna end this video pretty soon.
Your San Francisco quarterback, I'm sure nobody ever heard of him.
Nobody's heard of him. Everybody's booing, but they don't heard.
There was an article today, it's reported, that NFL owners don't want to pick him up because they don't want to get a nasty tweet from Donald Trump. Do you believe that?
No, I don't believe that, but it could be true.
I said, if I remember that one, I'm going to report it to the people of Kentucky. Because they like it when people actually stand for the American flag, right?
Yeah, so there's that. Anyway, it's your boy Tone 202. The NFL, the NBA, all sports are rigged terribly, and they listen, people. If you're gonna watch it, just watch it and have fun. Don't take it seriously. Don't be surprised if your team doesn't win when it's obvious they should. Don't be surprised when one of your favorite players is all of a sudden not playing because of some stupid reason, because they do stuff like this. It's just a shame that the game is just not honest. It's your boy Tone 202. I'm out.